So my story begins back in about elementary school. Almost all the way through, I was abused, mainly through my friends and just bullied in that sense. And plus my home life with my dad just getting out of a divorce. We had a rough relationship when I was young. And through that spurred some anger management issues. Once I hit 5th grade, I started to go through puberty and hit a weird phase and discovered pornography through actually a videotape sitting inside my house at that point. What came with the addiction was not really a shaking with my faith just yet. Depression set in. And from dealing with it for a number of years and dealing with just a rough relationship with my father and with all people in my past, it came to a point where I decided that I was just done. I wanted to kill myself. But I still had one lingering hope on God. And I remember praying almost every night that year that this was the last chance that God had in my life. I was begging for an angel. So most of the year rolled around, and then there was this one girl, right, basically the end of the year, and she and I started hitting on each other, and then we eventually started dating right before the year was over. And she pulled me out of it. Things went well for a good while, especially during the summer. We became close, and she made me feel I actually was a human being and that I could pull through it. My addiction went away, my depression went away. I felt whole for the first time in a really long time. And then when school year came back around, things got real. She was into sports, and I'd always dropped her off at soccer practice every day. And I was just trying to be a good gentleman. But when that started happening, abuse started hitting in. And not just emotional or even mental or verbal. I was being hit on all levels, exclusively during those times dropping her off physically. I remember I would just accept it as something that had to happen, and I was fixed on her as my anchor, because at that point, I don't even know if God was an anchor. There were days I'd sit there and she would get angry at me for the fact that I was depressed, and I couldn't figure out why. And it fed it more. And eventually, at the end of the year, or the end of the next year, actually into my junior year, I was at a service camp, and it's my second year there. But I remember working on a job site, and we've been having an argument like all week.